And it goes
Man,
live.
welcome to Double Funnel TV.
Pixel double funnel TV. I knew I should have gone to my office.
That's right.
How have you been? It's been a whole week and a day since we've seen you.
I know. Been busy, just working on stuff, trying to get stuff put together. So
I was asked by one of our partner marketers who builds funnels and runs ads for speakers, coaches, trainers at a fairly high level, and sent him my stuff for doing social media stuff. And he was like, my guys don't believe me when I tell you how much you're charging. They're like, it can't possibly be good if that's all you're charging. And I get it. They've been burned really bad by some social media people charging $1,000 a month and not even posting, right?
Right.
And so you're trying to explain to them, it's not a lot. We're not community managers, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, okay, well, let me make an example video with all the different posts. And so one of the posts I put in there was yours that we made with Zig Ziglar. Remember the quote?
Yep.
And I was like geeking out because we were making these quotes of Zig Ziglar with a picture of Zig Ziglar and the coach, speaker, trainer, and I put that in there, and he was like, oh my God, that's so cool. And I was like, yeah, my favorite one is there of Scott Schilling there with, Zig. He was like, oh my God, I thought that looked like Zig. Are you being serious? He's like, you have no idea. That dude's got pictures of like everyone you know.
And
everyone we're taking pictures of.
What's funny is I don't actually take a lot of pictures. So I do have a lot of pictures, but I don't really focus on, some people, that's all they do is they concentrate on taking pictures with everybody all the time,
I'm terrible at that.
No, I mean, I don't take many pictures. It's never been until I could figure out how to honor that person, because again, it's the intent behind it. But as soon as I could figure out how to honor them, then it was a different story, Then you start getting some, and you start using them in appropriate ways and things like that. There's so much stuff that's can really be used for good or can be used for not so much good,
Exactly.
And maybe I'm too much of a purist that way or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid.
I don't know if it's a purist. I just think, one, as an introvert myself, intuitively, right? I know how overwhelming it can be when I get off a stage and then you're just bombarded with people, right? And they're sweet as pie, they're fans, you want to help, but it can just be overwhelming to an introvert. So knowing how I feel that way, when I see that happen to other people, I'm like, you know what, they just spent an hour and a half on stage. They might need a drink and some space. Maybe they don't want to talk anymore. And the last thing they want to do is some stranger coming up and saying, hey, can you get super close and can we wrap arms around each other and take a picture, bro?
Yeah, like we've been friends for 200 years. It's more of that side. I love taking pictures.
And then they're going to leverage it like
I love having other people who request to take a picture with me anytime. That's awesome. But I don't take a lot of pictures. In other words, I don't do the other, I don't go and necessarily hang with a bunch of people and, the other speakers backstage or any of that kind of stuff, So everybody's got their own.
I don't want to waste time with a picture.
That's kind of the way I am too. It's like,
There's so much brain power at the backstage.
I'd rather learn something from them than to, try to leverage their picture. A lot of times believe it or not, it's funny because I was with one guy who, quite frankly, most people should know, but they really don't know him. But most people really should, which is really funny, is when you think about the juxtaposition between, and we've had these conversations, and I said, I think you think everybody knows who you are. And while you're amazing, not everybody knows who you are. And he goes, well, they should. And I go, well, yeah, they probably should. But isn't it funny? Even some of the quote unquote most known people are not as known as you would think they would be.
My favorite was Ryan was telling a story from traffic and conversion last year. And he said he was in the elevator coming down and somebody looked some deadpan in the face. Here's this massive event that's breaking the hotel. They ran out of toilet paper. And they're in the elevator going down and this girl looks right at him and says, hey, are you with the event?
Nice.
Not everybody knows your face, even if it's your own party.
That's right.
Today on Double Funnel.
What are we doing?
One of the things, you know, I'm not going to lie. I'm coming right off of spring break. Yesterday, so we brought on 2 new salespeople at Warfare Marketing. And, you know, now good afternoon, Jeremy. We did this really big push because I want to make sure my sales team has, you know, their own funnel going and their own, what do salespeople call it? We call it funnels. Y'all call it a
what, lead generation?
Yeah, lead generation, but no, like a sales 30, 60, 90 days. You have a sales. Can't think of it.
Well, I mean, it's also a funnel, or it
is a funnel. Sales pipeline.
Yeah, pipeline.
Pipeline in production. So I've been working extra hard, and I wanted to make sure that, and then the offer's really good, right? So the offer's on point, and we've got a lot of uptake on it, but that means a tremendous amount of work for me. So I think I went to bed last night at 3 in the morning, and I woke up at 7 this morning. And the night before, I went to bed at 5:30 in the morning, and woke up at 7. 3 in the morning the night before, but I got a little bit more sleep on Sunday. But yesterday I was trying to do the show, and I was just like, I was like, I'm just gonna lay down for 10 minutes, and I set a timer, and I must have turned the button off, and then at like 9:05 I popped up, and I was like, it's not happening today. I can't. Yep. My eyes are like this. It's not what's going on.
I get it.
But I do want to sit down and like kind of work out some of the missing gaps, because I was looking on YouTube and we have a ton of information on a lot of the middle process of building a funnel. What we don't have a lot of information on is how you actually put people in the funnel, the awareness stage.
Where the posting goes, or where the...
Well, so like today I'm going to go do some actually sales kind of post on Facebook. Like Jeremy is actually live. Right now we are doing him posting to his page right now over in South Africa. It was interesting doing the onboarding with him and figuring out what's different in business over there. But sales post on social, so where it's not direct selling, but it can be used to start those conversations that are sales conversations. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Because they are at the kind of like the lowest level. One way to start garnering, is that a word?
That is a big
gaining
word.
Attention.
Well, either one is correct there, actually.
Yeah, without diving into Facebook ads and Google ads, don't get me wrong, I'd actually like to go over those too on Double Funnel, because you could have, as you well know, you could have 1 million funnels built. If you don't drive traffic, none of them make any money. Right.
This would be true.
And that's almost sad. It's almost a little sad.
It's very sad.
Right, so let's see what we've got. I've got my husband building funnels. I got you building funnels. I've got Rayanne building funnels. And I realize everyone is like, I have no idea who you're talking about, Jenna. And that's okay.
That's okay. We know.
These are people who don't normally build funnels.
That's right.
All right, let me do some screen shares, so it'd be nice for everyone to see.
That would be good.
It's a good start. Let's see. Jeremy, loving your work thus far. Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy. Jeremy, I just kind of took over his branding.
Nice.
Kind of made it up. But I mean, that is one of the things. Not everyone has like this perfect brand, and I would rather people have something to sell out there than spending a lot of money on, one company we priced out, they wanted $35,000 for a brand.
Nice.
$35,000. So I mean, that's nice for the agency, but for the company
I know, it's nice for them.
hiring them. Okay, now you have a fancy logo and you've got some nice brand images, but you don't need, I think that'll include a basic website for that. I was like, what?
Really?
Maybe I'm not charging enough, man. All right, so I'm actually looking at RelayThat, which I think is still available on AppSumo. I do not know how that's possible, but it is. And I'm just using basically one of their templates. I'm going to widen it out. They're not doing well with scrunchy. Oh, look at the, man, words are going everywhere. So I've basically got, obviously nobody on Double Funnel would know this. This is one of the people we were building out posts for. So I'm just going to make a couple, 3 more. So I just popped in a basic template. I don't love it. I don't dislike it. One of the things I did like is that it actually has the iPad in here, that it shows the website. And I also have a choice of several different colors and male, female hands, just to kind of reach out to, you know, multiple demographics visually. And then I put the founder's face in the background. So since he's kind of the one that everyone knows from all the training videos, this is our, like, the post that we would do on Tuesdays. I'm down to like working on the people that, I don't always say they're harder. I'm going to show you some of the ones that we did for like realtors, some travel people. Travel, I was thinking of you because we signed on someone who does special travel. And I realized I actually had connected y'all to before. But these ones are going to be more about showing their face and like getting some, building that rapport before we even talk, right?
Right.
So just some branding colors. And all I'm going to do, this is their website. I'm literally just taking the stuff that they've already written on their website. That's it. I'm going to still right here, compare that to the, just here, taking a piece here, taking it to RelayThat.
Right.
So what all I'm doing is literally sharing something that's a piece of information you would like to share with the public.
Yeah, that you share anyway, just in a different way, in a different medium.
That's true. Okay. It's giving me a, oh, there we go. Sizing is giving me space. Since I already happen to do the large male dark hands, let's do some female hands. Right, female? Oh, it even gives me the option. So that one has 2 hands, so I could even take this one off. That's one hand holding it. Sorry, I'm going to geek out over stupid things. Right, female.
Those are unique things.
You know. I'm not sure about the floating hand from nowhere. I don't like the stripe. A little brand. And it's literally just hitting the button download. The other one that I'm going to use, let's see if I have it open. All right, so I have a social.
Which
one? So I actually had this one open. This was one, so very similar. I thought, let me change the picture. So just taking the little piece of information, combining that with an image we've created, and then you just need a simple call to action. And not every call to action needs to be a link to your scheduler at all.
Right.
One, the links aren't always good to have. They get suppressed in Facebook. So sometimes I'm just going to keep it simple. Let's see, for this one, bar matrix is a hospitality, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure that's how they want to be. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. That's always fun. Yeah, please describe my business as blah, blah, blah. Greatly appreciated.
Right, I'm sure. But surely they have a good call to action. Submit. Oh, there's no like reasons to learn. So this one has a little bit about it. Where did I get that one? Oh, that right here. Bar metrics will have. So I'm going to take one that's a little bit of a pain point. So they have proven track record of reducing liquor and food costs for thousands of venues. To learn how you can reduce. So you're identifying their problem is, man, liquor and food costs for an actual venue. Like, I don't think many people realize how much in the food industry goes to food waste. So when you buy your dinner, let's say a $10 meal, how much of that is just paying for food they've had to throw out the door because it went bad?
Are you talking per meal, or are you talking in a
no, it's overall, but you have to, I mean, it eats at your margin, right?
Sure.
So, I mean, if you make a profit of 100, not profit, if you had a gross of 100, food costs you 50%, probably more than that. But at least 10 to even 30% of the food got thrown out.
Yeah, that's the part that's a shame. Well, that's the part that's really a shame.
For more, not even just money.
Exactly. So I'm saying that could go to help a lot of people.
It could. My husband and I we were just talking about how parents, when they tell their kids they're starving kids in Somalia, his response used to be, well, give me an envelope and I'll ship it there.
Yeah,
learn
it's amazing.
How you can reduce liquor and food costs like we have done for thousands of venues. And this is going to be one where I feel like I'm adding another inbox, and for that, it's not my fault. People are doing it anyway. Just send us a quick message on Facebook.
Is that in RelayThat?
Now, this is actually in my scheduler. This is in ContentStudio.
Got it.
And as you can see, it's typing incredibly slowly.
Right. So you mean you can type faster than that?
Yeah, look, I'm typing hands-free, Mom.
Telepathic.
I wish I could say that's just because I'm live. They've done something to the platform. This is close to changing. So angry. Bar metrics. Okay, so to learn how you can reduce liquor and food costs, like we have done for thousands of venues, like yours, just send us a quick message on Facebook. So that way you have a call to action, but it's super simple. It's just going from this post to saying hit message. And the nice part is when it comes to social media is that can be very similar. You don't have to recreate the wheel. I'm actually just going to take from the period down, copy that call to action. This one happens to be scheduled, so I'm going to make it go out.
How far?
It's a good question. I'm trying to remember if I did one for today. I did not do one for today, so it's going to go. We're going to just post it now. Do a quick check, make sure I chose the company. Got the company checked up there. What I like to is about that post is it's using the same image that was in the Facebook header. So I think that people think that they need to create a new image every single post. Like it can't be even the same, that consistent brand face image. It can.
Yeah.
Now see, this one's going to start going a little faster. Again, I'm just going to copy this again.
Because is that because you're pulling it in from existing?
Well, I'm just copying the same call to action.
Got it.
Out of the problems that people are wanting to fix, that financial one is going to be the biggest one every time. And if you tell somebody that they can save money, right, then that's going to be a big deal. And this one actually is directly, the average liquor shrinkage in North America is over 20%. Compare
Really?
that to the retail industry average of 2%. And so you can see, like, here's the retail. They're saying they're losing 2% of all their inventory. I mean, think about something walking out the door. Someone steals it, something breaks, things like this.
Yeah.
Liquor loss is over 20%.
That's crazy.
That is certainly a lot when you consider how expensive it is.
No kidding.
So we're going to apply.
That's
we got it
huge.
scheduled. So it is. It's insane. I can't imagine 20% of potential profits walking right out the door on top of the normal tax.
I never realized it was that high.
I think food's higher. So let's go. We just made 2 posts. I'm kind of showing how easy it is. You don't have to sit here and overthink it. So this one is I did outsource liquor inventory control. This one's very similar. I'm going to take one with leaving a little bit of their own information. With food costs continue to rise every year, I'm going to actually take that part. That's fluff. Controlling your food loss is a major issue for hospitality businesses. Barometrics has a unique process to very quickly identify the issues and implement controls to keep your food costs at the right level. So I'm actually going to take the whole one up here to do for the social post. I'm not going to take out the little bit of fluff there at the beginning.
Yeah.
But I am going to go back over here to get your food costs under control. That call to action is going to change just slightly.
Why?
Because this one was talking about reducing liquor and food cost. I'm just going to change it up really quick to just your food cost under control.
Got it.
So it changes up the copy just a little. Again, this is stuff you've already written. People think they need to keep rewriting something new. Like, we've talked about this with speeches.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to give a new speech every time you write a post.
Nope.
It's actually better if you continue to use the same information. That way that you start driving home your messaging. Does that make sense?
Well, that's exactly what I did with the posts for the Think and Grow Rich World Tour. Mm-hmm. Is because there are 13 key characteristics that Napoleon Hill had identified in Think and Grow Rich. Mm-hmm. I basically created the body of the post, in other words, the picture that gave the dates for the 3 May locations, 3 May cities. But, I put principle number 1 in detailed principle number 1 on the first post, principle number 2 on the second post, principle number 3 on the third, and I actually created 13 posts, one with each of the principles. Okay. So that's exactly how I did it. Was the body, the messaging as to what city we were in on what date was the same, but the informational content was modified to actually give you a series of all 13.
Does this one not have an image?
Exactly what I did.
And that's so smart of you.
Why, thank you.
But it's like you've done this before, though, right?
Now. It's because of double funnel TV.
Why not put the image with this one? Let me make sure that's the right image.
Did you lose it? Nicely done.
Shh. Editing it.
Oh,
that's March 26th schedule. I'm trying to make sure that I didn't miss one, right? So
sure.
I'll kind of show you what I'm doing here. I'm going by and I'm just looking at the one page. So this could be like just your Facebook page in this event versus your LinkedIn and your Twitter and all that. Calendar view, so it's nice to see what's going out on a regular basis. So you have some consistency, right?
Right.
We have one post, and then we're going to go up to April. And I skipped a day. I skipped number 2. That's
Why?
okay. Because I don't like April 2nd. All the fun is on April 1st.
Oh, that's a great reason. Hadn't thought of that one.
All the best fun is April 1st.
Okay.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
There's absolutely
What are you looking around over there? What are you doing?
There's absolutely no logic to that statement whatsoever.
That
I was
sounds
looking at
like
my
April 1st.
posts. Oh, let's see what Ray Ann's saying. I'm late to the game today. What program? ContentStudio.
Studio. So basically, scheduler.
Yep.
Are your oh, I love this one for a social post. This is like, there's so many questions right here. I'm only doing a month right now to get this person started. But here's this big paragraph. You would think that's one post. That's several posts. Are your bartenders maximizing your revenue behind the bar? One post. Are your bartenders, so take away the they, making drinks the same way with the same look and taste for every customer? Do your bartenders know your cocktail recipes and serving size? Do your bartenders consistently over pour or worse, under pour when serving drinks? That's interesting. Worse is the under pour.
It's definitely worse.
But you can make right out of that one paragraph
4 or 5 posts.
4 or 5 posts, and I actually love those.
Well, that's what got me as I was doing this stuff over the weekend for the Think and Grow Rich tour. Was, I just started thinking about. It's so funny you're doing this because that's exactly what I did. Is I went to the tour website, and they had 6 points, and so I started looking at those to create, and that's when I thought of the principles thing. And so in actuality, now I had like 20 posts because I had the 13 plus the 6 plus 1 just, hey, what up?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Come over here, and I'm going to post, just take that. That's a really fun tour. That sounds like it's fun.
I think it's going to be a blast.
Where is it going to?
Oh, let's see. We start in Anaheim. We do Seattle, San Diego, Chicago, Boston.
So how do those work? Like, how do you get on those stages?
Reputation, working with the people who are creating them, do what you can do to help them in the beginning, variety of different things,
No, we don't know.
Well, try to, you work to create relationships with people. How can you, it's interesting. It's really interesting you ask that question because today I was sitting there going, people just don't talk to people anymore. It just is, it's almost mind-numbing to me. No, I know that, but it doesn't happen very often. So as an example, this morning I was just sitting there and kind of in quiet time, just kind of thinking about things, where you just let your brain kind of wander. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden a friend's name popped in. And
to your head?
Yeah. Probably 2-3 weeks ago now.
Okay.
We had coffee, and just talked and had, real nice conversations. But all of a sudden we're sitting there and her name popped into my head. And it was like, well, we exchanged a couple of texts and a couple of emails afterwards, but we haven't really talked since. So I just sent a text that said, hey, was just sitting here in quiet time, and all of a sudden you popped into my head. Hope all is fabulous in your world.
Exactly.
So
you were telling me you do that too, that sometimes you'll just do what did you call it? Like, not spin through your Rolodex, but spin your contacts and whoever it lands on, call that person.
Yeah. And
mine is, I like to print, if you go to your Facebook friends list and you keep scrolling all the way to the bottom and just keep scrolling and scrolling, especially if you got like over 1,000, I know some people with the max of 5,000 people. But if you'll just go through there and print the entire thing out as a PDF, print it out in physical paper form, front and back, you have an entire list of every Facebook contact, and they're in order from the people you most interact with to the people you least interact with. The easy ones to interact with are going to be those ones on the top, but I challenge everyone to go to the very back, the last page, and go through their contacts and just reach out to them. And if you don't feel like you can reach out to them, I'm almost like delete them.
Yeah, no, there's truth to that. I mean, it's interesting because I'm kind of at that spot where I could use a little room. Sure would be nice just to be able to get to the bottom of the list quickly.
Yeah, that is nice. But I don't think that, I mean, that's hard. Having tried to purge a little bit,
yeah,
it can be difficult. So right now I'm going in and I'm just actually saving it. So for our clients, I let them use anything that we create. But I also recommend, if you're doing this yourself, it's free. So I'm using a paid Google Drive account for my company because it comes with some other features. But you can get Google Drive for free up to a certain amount of space. And that space is easy and free, I think, under like a gigabyte. So as long as you're not doing videos, you're pretty cool. It's not going to slow anything down. It's not going to cost you money. The videos is what gets me in trouble.
Why are you posting that many videos?
I'm saving that many videos. When you start storing videos, yeah, that gets fairly intense. So in doing that, so let's see, I'm keeping track of who I've done and who I haven't done. Let's see another one. I'll do one that we've done, Dagmar.
Mm-hmm.
I've already got her stuff in here, so I'm going to make sure that one is saved. I've been bad about saving. So why don't you, did you actually know more about Dagmar? Talk a little about Dagmar and her business, who she is.
Well, she's a unique combination of highly skilled intuitive with a significant and tremendous business background. And so when you tie the two together, I mean, she's very skillful from the business side, but then you take that and you tap in the intuitive side, the intuitive nature of that. That's a pretty unique combination, right?
That is.
And so she's got a really solid skill set of being able to kind of fight through the crud and kick you off a dime.
Would you consider a speaker, trainer, or coach? Because I know you said those are three different things.
Oh boy, that's an interesting. I would actually probably go coach, trainer, speaker in that order.
So all three.
Yeah, but I mean, heavier on the coach, you know, the guiding, you know, guiding people, things like that. I would see more that way. And then handles and does significant trainings, numbers of trainings, things like that. And then I think the last would be just a pure out and out speaker. If you were to order them, you know, and where she spends the vast majority of her time, things like that.
I can see that. So creating a sales post for a coach, say coach, trainer, speaker?
Yes.
Here's her actually. Ooh, I like this quote right up off the top. So again, making sure that you are consistent in your messaging. Let's see where the little bubble icon goes. Click, 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 click. That's all on. So Jeremy actually asked the question earlier. Is there an easy way to answer inbox messages? Mine's exploded. The really simple answer is no. Just going and getting it.
What kind of mess? I mean,
like Facebook business messaging.
Is there an easy way? You read them and you answer them.
That's the hard part, right? You can put them in a universal mailbox with your emails, your LinkedIn messages, your other stuff, but at the end of the day, no, there's no easy way to, you have to go answer them. You can start funneling them to one location. I think you can either send everyone to one email, you can send everyone to Facebook messaging, you can send everyone to a free and or a paid group, depending on what level they are.
Right.
You could tell people like, hey, you have to email support unless you're a member. So like for our business growth network, I could say, unless that you're a member or you're a member at a certain level, you just need to go through the standard support channels and continue to respond like that and not even answer their questions. That's the key part. You have to like kind of refuse to answer their questions. It's like taking a hard line, but sometimes that's what you have to do. So here we go. We have one. And again, all you're doing, it's not a sales post. It's not buy my stuff, sign up for my webinar, paid webinar, come to my class, buy my book. It's asking a question that starts a sales conversation.
Right.
Like as a salesperson, like that's coming from the marketing side. That's what we talk about. Does that make sense to you, the sales guy?
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing branding, if you're getting information out there that gets people to understand who you are, what you stand for, the areas you cover, those kinds of things. So if it's not about, again, if it's more in the line of offering tips, techniques, thoughts, quotes, things that are helpful, things that are useful.
Yeah.
I've got one friend that just puts out.
We all have one friend.
Well, no, but I'm thinking of one friend in particular that puts out very inspirational stuff. It's just like, somehow my eye tends to catch his posts on the right day. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. No, it does.
So, I mean, part of it is just understanding what's the right stuff. What are you looking for?
Yeah.
Your eye catches things. We live in such a content heavy world, right? So it's put out things that are of benefit to people consistently.
That makes sense. That makes lots of sense. So going and storing. So let's see what else I have. Which ones I'm to do. So we did Dagmar. So starting that sales question, and you'll start to see these are exactly the same. Here's one for Gwen Westhoff. Do you know Gwen? She does a lot of the networking here in the area.
Not sure. Don't think so.
Let's steal her picture, save image to download. Again, don't make this stuff hard.
People do make it hard.
Now, I will say, so since she's doing with insurance, some companies make it very hard to do social media and other stuff.
Yeah.
When you are in financial services, I think is by far the most difficult. Their compliance and their rules have not caught up to real life, which is interesting. So let's see if we can get one. For these ones, if you're any kind of B2B space, I kind of recommend doing, unless you're big on Instagram for one particular reason or another, but doing ones where it's rectangular in shape. And that's just because it's easy to take over to LinkedIn and reuse.
Are there, I mean, I know there are size,
particular sizes for each post?
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Yes, that's the nice part is RelayThat handles that for you. Although I have broken it down that there's essentially just a handful of general proportions, we'll say it that way. They have the ones that are exceptionally different, but most people are going to be a general horizontal type shape and a square shape. And then Pinterest is a longer one, right? The ones that get really particular are like the LinkedIn cover. That one, such a pain on a regular basis, right?
Yeah.
Let's see, you can save 30 to 60% or more on your monthly premium. So this one actually doesn't say health insurance, but I'm going to add that in there for her.
It would be helpful to know that it's health insurance as opposed to something else.
Exactly. I think that's what people forget. Like that's where they're so close to their own product.
Yeah.
36 or more. I'm going to highlight the word save. I feel like that's the word that people care about. And she was describing to me how she does it. It's basically mismatching pieces together instead of getting one plan that does everything.
Yeah. Portions out different.
See if she put her name on it. No, she didn't. So let me just check her. I don't want to don't spell your own name wrong. West.
Why not?
I got it right. You know, out of all the spelling mistakes you can make, I do want to get, I'm not sure if that's an I. That takes slightly younger photo. Because her target market's not quite. Not that she can't help those on, is it Medicare? Medicare is when you're older.
Yeah. Medicare and Medicaid.
Medicaid is when you don't have necessarily the money.
Right.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
My images are being slowed all over the course today.
Yeah.
I do like the idea section. Like if you don't already have a brand, they already have a bunch of colors in there for you. You just click at it and it imports them all into your stuff.
Yeah, really. It's an interesting platform.
All right, what if we change? Oh, that can't be white. It can be, no, if it's bright blue, it'll cover it up. You know what? We're just going to go with it. It's simple enough. We don't need to make it complicated. You can save. Ooh, I definitely do not like how the save came out. That in script just is not good looking. There we go. What?
Interesting. No, it's just you're talking to your
Is
scripts.
you laughing at me?
Kind of. It's just kind of funny.
I've been known to talk to, but this one is a sales post. So the last one was a sales post because it started the conversation, right?
Right.
This one is trying to get everyone's attention. So a lot of people when they're in the financial industry, the healthcare industry, and realtors, they depend on asking those questions to start conversations. But in certain industries, the only thing you care about is price.
Right.
Everyone right now is hurting on their insurance premiums, so letting people know that they can immediately save as much as half, I think says a lot and garners a lot of attention. What do you think?
I would think so. You know, everybody's choking. Everybody's choking two ways. They're choking on what they're paying for their premiums, and then they're choking when they go to use it. A friend of mine just posted, you know, somebody suggested, you know, he was having some side pains and whatever. They thought it could be appendicitis. They thought it could be a variety of different things, right?
Uh-huh.
So they thoroughly encouraged him to go get checked out and whatever. And so he did. Got the bill a week or 10 days later, $9,000.
Wow. That's insane.
Needless to say, he was not happy.
I understand why he would be that way.
Yeah.
A quick Facebook message or call me direct at, and then you're definitely going to make sure we get the phone number right. Another thing you really don't want to misspell.
This would be true.
Funny thing about phone numbers, if you get one number wrong, it doesn't work.
It's kind of like that with, yeah, a lot of things like that for sure.
Yeah, but you know, words, you misspell a word, and we're like, oh, we know what you meant.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
You can fill in the blank.
Every now and then I get wrong calls. I'm like, did somebody give them a fake number?
It's a great
Oh my
idea.
gosh. Copywriter. What is the best way to sell copywriting?
What is the best way to sell copywriting?
I know, right? In a message, like starting a conversation about copywriting, because this one kind of goes back to what I'm always telling David Roberts. No one wakes up wanting a vision. No one wakes up going, I really need some better copy in my life. There are people who wake up going, oh my God, this health insurance is strangling me. I need to find a lower option. People don't know that they necessarily need copy.
Are you ready to rev up your business with some seriously hot marketing? Not really.
Oh, that's not speaking to you?
No, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, that's what I'm saying is you'd have to have some attraction getting headline or copy, especially if you're a copywriter.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, no, true.
Nobody wants hot marketing. I mean, they want what the hot marketing will deliver.
And don't get me wrong, copy, like, I don't mean him to say anything about like David's vision or a copywriter. It's the stuff that can absolutely make the difference between doubling your business is good copy.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go. I'll take that one. Nice little quote. So let's go over to her page.
I mean, that's what it's about, is converting more opportunities into business.
Oh, yes. Why? Oh, my God, her cat's in it. I kind of love that.
Is that a copycat?
It is. Yeah, I kind of love that. So, let's see if I could go. I don't know about the Christmas cat, though. I like the cat, not necessarily the Christmas cat.
What do you got against Christmas?
I don't, but if her color was red, I think it would be more cartoon image. That has her logo too. I don't know about that one. Cat and miscellaneous pictures. So I'm gonna find a different cat.
So you're gonna give her a fake cat?
No, it's her cat. She's got lots of cats. I just want one where it's not Christmassy.
Well, the one on top of the clock wasn't Christmassy.
You like the clock one? Does that one grab your attention?
Was kind of unique.
I like the design, but I want one that actually looks like it's a person, as if like if we were making an image of you and I on the podcast, like, hey, this is the podcast we're running. I want the cat to look like he's part of the podcast. Like it's his headshot.
Part of the writing staff.
Exactly. Actually, I kind of like this one.
Is that next to the computer, or?
No, the one where the cat's like all up in their business.
Yeah. Crazy.
Place this one over. And then I'm just going to come over here to her website. I'm going to squish this. I get like where everything's lined up the way I want it to be. Or wait, what shape is that? A little bit more. Yeah. I'm just going to take a screenshot.
Yeah.
The picture's messing it up. A little wider. There we go. I didn't want to like cut her in half. That just seems cool and unusual.
It's not very nice.
Especially when it's you. Let's paste the words. And we're going to click on this one and change it just a little bit. That's the nice thing about RelayThat is they added some features where I can slightly change things.
You can?
But, yeah. I can slightly move words around in blocks. This one I'm going to come in and I'm going to make it that screenshot. Part of me is tempted to leave it as a quote from Winston Churchill.
Nice.
That would not be. If you're going to do that, I feel like it has to be really drastic. Like it has to be a quote from the internet by like a dead president. I think having her website's a little redundant, so I've got her. I've got the cat for a little bit of attention. So I want to add some backdrop. Ooh, not really. Oh wait, maybe with the overlay.
It's kind of cool.
Wow, I think images are still not loading. That's okay. You like it with that better, or do you like it with the flat?
It's too different. I think probably the flat, because otherwise it takes you away from the other message.
I don't even know. Oh, I see a little triangle came in there.
What's that dimension? That's a Facebook post there?
Okay, so Facebook will take a tall post, like a vertical post, a horizontal post, or a square post. Now, even the vertical posts like Pinterest, they will accept. Where it doesn't make it very easy is LinkedIn. So if you post natively on LinkedIn right now, you can get a square post in. If you are sending it from a scheduler, it makes it it brings it in as a link, and so it only gets the horizontal piece. Obviously, Instagram, to me, Instagram is a square. When people start doing the vertical or the horizontal shots, I just get annoyed. And that's harsh, but it takes that beautiful magazine style layout away.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. Stop. Don't do it. Oops. Okay, take the whole thing. I swear. All right, I'm gonna go back over here to go to Composer, social media post. I think that's kind of direct response sales copy is the tool that will convert more leads to customers. So not saying Facebook ads or Google ads.
Yeah.
And that's actually what I'll put in there. Facebook ads, Google ads, blog content. What else do we do to market?
What else do we do to market?
Yeah, pages all fail when the copy is bad. Period.
True.
Want great copy for your business? Send me a quick Facebook message now before you forget. And the reason I kind of did, like, see how she did the tool?
Yeah.
She comes from a very particular writing style where that's part of what they do. So this is kind of going into some style, whereas for some person, I might not want to go in there and add that. That would be really annoying. Like if I'm doing a sales post for like Gwen, who's in insurance, that's just going to look weird, right? That's not what her demographic is expecting. It's also, this is copy for a copywriter. So it's nice when you write the copy as if she was writing the copy, right?
Sure.
Look how slow they're typing out. So
you would think that her system would have done that. I mean, she would have written that.
Well, I will say this. So for her pages, I know where she's coming from, and they're big fans of like long form copy. And the concept is each line is only meant to get somebody to the very next line. So not every line stands all by itself. Its job is to make you read one more line. So you might even use like a taboo word or something, you know, a little weird, like the popular ones like email is dead.
Yeah.
On its own, it doesn't say a whole bunch, right?
Right.
But it gets you to be like, oh my God, email's dead.
It's what?
Oh my God, shiny object, what's new? What happened?
If it's dead, what are we using?
What are we using? Oh, we're using Facebook bots now. Or no, we're using this. You know, you're jumping through all the different hoops to figure it out. But hey, that's the goal, right? But I hope that helps. You absolutely shouldn't be selling on Facebook. Like buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. But you can create posts. I'm kind of go down to the ones we did today, where they're starting those conversations.
Yep.
Right, and that way it's not selling, it's a conversation. And the only other one I kind of wanted to show you, and the ones that I did last night, but I love these. This one is from T. She has time travelers. Can I see it? You got a button for me? I don't want to duplicate it. Let me go up here to list view just today. What time is it? Yeah, 10 hers should have already gone out, so I can see it. I'll actually go to the actual Facebook post so you can see what it comes out, and then we'll wrap it up because it's 10:06 and there's a Business Growth Network meeting at my office. I should probably unlock the doors. Oh, I looked at Vibrant Real Estate. Wrong one. I wanted to do the fun one.
Okay, we'll look at it tomorrow.
Well, no. So we have, this is another type of sales post that is really good for also getting engagement. It's which house would you choose?
Yeah.
Same thing here. Bucket list choice, India or Alaska. People are probably going to have a very definitive choice between those two. The idea is to get them to come. Look, this is a business post. Getting an actual comment.
Yeah.
That's actually not normal these days for a small business owner.
No, it's cool.
But it makes, and that's the sales post, and you've now started a conversation. And here's the secret tactic. If that person, put that person in your CRM, and you can now put a note that one of their bucket list choices might be Alaska. Or at least Alaska over India, right?
If Alaska is on your bucket list.
But I mean, seriously though, I mean,
No,
that's what she sells is literally bucket list travel. Like that is literally like in her line. So if that's what you're selling, you want to know what their bucket list is. And you're like, hey, you can say in 3 months, let's say you're putting together a trip for Alaska. Pull up everyone with the tag Alaska and say, hey, I know you mentioned that you would go to Alaska over India. Are you interested in our Alaska trip? We're going to hit all these key points.
Yep.
And boom, right? All right, we are going to wrap up. Are you joining us at the meeting today?
I am not. I've got a day full of meetings, but I will be there next week.
With Jill. And then we need to get you on the calendar too.
Yep. Okie dokie.
Yep. We'll see you tomorrow on Double Funnel TV. But I hope the
good.
Facebook sales posts were helpful.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
Bye.